All right, today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A all about dropshipping on eBay, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace. As usual, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. So it's a pretty casual hour where we can just hang out. You can ask any questions that you have about dropshipping, about eBay, about making money online. Whatever you have questions about, I'll try to try to answer as many of those questions as I possibly can. So let's get into this. You just jump in here, and we have people like Sean here saying, "Hey, Sean," or "Hey, Paul. Thanks for being here, Sean. And thanks for reminding people to hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate that, man." Let's get into some of these questions. So first one here is from Darnell. So Darnell is asking about Zeek Analytics. And since I use it, do I ever use the AutoDS Finder feature? Yes, if those of you don't know, the type of drop shipping that I do is I drop ship onto marketplaces. Marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace. Because when I do that, I don't have to worry about getting traffic like you would have to do with a Shopify store. The customers are already there. They're already ready to purchase the items. And that saves you a huge step in the drop shipping process. Because where a lot of people get hung up is they get hung up with, they build their website, they find products to add to the website, but how do they actually get people to visit their website to actually purchase from them? That is the critically hard part that most people can't get down. Very hard for beginners, which is why I'm a huge advocate of selling on marketplaces where the customers already exist. Amazon, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. But there's a bunch of other ones too, right? Like Etsy, for instance. Now, and again, I try to keep this as simple as possible, especially because when I started, I was a complete beginner with no experience, and I know a lot of you are as well. So what I'd like to do is I usually use retail websites to dropship from. So if I'm dropshipping on like Facebook Marketplace, I'm dropshipping from Amazon, I'm dropshipping from Walmart, I'm dropshipping from HomeDepot.com. Very simple, right? You don't need a special relationship with those websites to start buying items from them. You just list those items up for sale from like Amazon, list it up for sale on Facebook. When someone buys it from you on Facebook, you buy from Amazon and ship it directly to your customer. The only real tricky part of all of this is knowing which products to sell. And that brings me back to Darnell's question. Because Darnell here talks about Zeek Analytics. So Zeek Analytics is actually software that is designed by dropshippers for dropshippers to help them with product research. Specifically, it helps people with finding the best products to dropship onto eBay. It sees what are people already successfully dropshipping onto eBay, and it spits it out. It shows you what all those products are. So very powerful software. I've been using it for eBay dropshipping for a long time now, and I can't recommend it enough for eBay dropshipping. But we actually use it for Facebook dropshipping a little bit too, because pretty much what we found is that if it's selling well on eBay, there's a really good chance it's going to sell well on Facebook Marketplace. Now, since I use Zeek Analytics for doing product research, the question is, do I use anything else? So for instance, AutoDS. AutoDS, if you're not familiar with what that is a software that we use to help keep track of our inventory, our stock levels, and our price levels. So let's say I list an item from Amazon onto eBay or even onto Facebook Marketplace, right? Now it's on the marketplace. But what if the item goes out of stock on Amazon or the item's price changes on Amazon? Well, we don't want to sell an item on eBay or on Facebook if it's just going to be out of stock at the supplier's level. Or we don't want to sell an item for one price and then go to buy it from Amazon and it's a higher price. So that's where software like AutoDS comes in. Because what AutoDS will do is if you're selling on eBay and any price changes on Amazon or the item goes out of stock on Amazon, those changes will happen automatically on eBay for you. So it will raise the price of the item or mark it as out of stock automatically on eBay. For Facebook Marketplace, it does pretty much the same thing, but it's not automated. It'll instead send you an email saying, hey, this item, it's now out of stock, or this item's price, it went up. You might want to change that on Facebook. Get that email, just jump on the Facebook and quickly make the change. So that's what we use AutoDS for. That's like at its core what the function of it is. Now, AutoDS, they really try to make themselves an all-in-one automation software for dropshipping, especially for eBay. So one of the additional functions that they have in AutoDS is the ability to do an AutoDS finder. And what the finder does is it will find products automatically that you can dropship from Amazon onto eBay that are already selling well on eBay. So it's very automated. With Zeek Analytics, I would say it's like half automated, right? With Zeek Analytics, you have to go in, you have to tell Zeek Analytics what it is that you're looking for, and it'll spit out results. And then you can quickly go through those results and pick which items you want to list. With the AutoDS Finder, it finds the items and then automatically even lists the items for you. Personally, I like Zeek Analytics in terms of product research. That's what I prefer because it finds the products and then I can check, do a quick manual check to see, hey, is this an item I actually want to list? And if it is, boom, it goes into my store. With AutoDS, again, that's automatic, and I want a little bit of a manual check in there. So the answer is a long answer. The short answer is no, I don't use the AutoDS Finder for that reason. There is one thing I use it for Facebook Marketplace dropshipping that I'm testing, and if it works out, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, that's basically it. All right. Kimberly says, hey everyone, hey Paul, I heard a rumor that PayPal is now allowing customers to pay merchants in Bitcoin. Thoughts on that? That's the first I'm hearing of that. Normally I try to stay on top of this stuff. So let me quickly do a search on this, PayPal Bitcoin. Let's see. I would not be surprised because, obviously Bitcoin cryptocurrency is really hot right now. People for a long time were not taking it that seriously, just kind of thought that this was a very volatile thing and that, they weren't really sure if this is something that's going to be around for a while or not. I think some people still feel like that, but it's pretty much impossible to ignore right now. In the past year, it's gone from about $6,000 for one Bitcoin up to now over $50,000. So that's not something that can be ignored. And a lot of these big companies, like big investment firms, are trying to scramble to get investments into them because that's what their clientele wants. And a lot of companies are now adding it as an option. A lot of banks are adding cryptocurrencies and different things like that. And so I would not be surprised if PayPal would do that. And yeah, looks like that's the case. I'm reading an article right now that says PayPal will let US users pay with Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum starting today. You can already buy and sell cryptocurrencies directly. Let me see what, after rolling out the ability for US users directly to their accounts. Yeah, so that's very interesting. The feature will automatically appear in the PayPal wallet if a user has sufficient cryptocurrency balance. So you have to actually buy cryptocurrency through PayPal first, have it in your wallet, and then you can pay with it. But my question is, let's say someone's paying me, how will it appear on my end? Will it appear as a cryptocurrency or will it be converted directly to cash? That is my question. Let's see. So it's already been supported in the Cash app, which is similar. Yeah, I don't know. Without looking into it, I don't want to spend time just looking for this answer. Let's see. Buy and sell crypto. That's something different. That's how you can actually buy and sell it. But how you pay with cryptocurrency, that's the, how you get paid with it. That's the curious part for me. So yeah, because sometimes what happens with PayPal is the customer will pay with one way, and then when you get it, you just get it in US dollars. So I'm wondering if they'll automatically just convert it to US dollars and then automatically convert it, or maybe they'll just pay you out in US dollars and they hold on to the cryptocurrency as an investment, something like that. I just don't know without spending a lot of time looking into it. But that's interesting, very interesting. In terms of drop shipping, customers on eBay, when they're purchasing items, they can pay with PayPal. But when they pay with PayPal, you don't get it into your PayPal account. eBay gets into their PayPal account, and then they send you your portion of that money later. So you're not going to get paid on eBay with cryptocurrency. That's for sure. But if you're accepting payments through PayPal for other reasons, maybe you can. Dave says, hey, this is a dumb question. Dave, it's not a dumb question. Now that I'm tax exempt on Amazon, how do I use my Prime account for my own purchases? Is there an option to pay for certain orders? Yeah. So Dave, that is an option when you check out. It will actually ask you right above under the payment method and before the gift option, there's usually a box there that says that you can use it for personal purposes if you check off that box, and then it will charge you sales tax if that's appropriate. That's a really good question, because when you become tax exempt on Amazon, then every time you check out on Amazon, you're not going to be charged sales tax. Now, the thought is that when you purchase the item, it's an item that's going to go directly to your customer. And when the item goes to your customer, then you don't have to pay sales tax for it, because only the end consumer has to pay sales tax. So in this case, you are not the end consumer, your customer is the end consumer. So you don't have to pay the sales tax for that item. But if you are purchasing for yourself, then you would be the end consumer. Like if I buy something like a case for my phone, I'm going to use it on my phone. I am the end consumer, right? Not my customer. So in that case, when I buy the iPhone case, I have to pay sales tax on it. So I have to let Amazon know, hey, I'm purchasing this for myself. Do not apply the sales tax exemption to this, because I need to pay sales tax for it. It's not a dumb question, because I didn't know that at first either. Like I didn't see that Amazon had that option. I didn't know how to do it. So it's a really actually smart question, Dave, because it's a question that not a lot of people would know to even ask. And the fact that you understand that you have to ask it means that you understand this better than most people out there. I'm curious about the monthly cost for a VA on Facebook Marketplace. Give me 1 second. I got to turn on my power. All right. Sorry, we were running low on juice, so I had to make sure I was all plugged in and powering up, but it looks good now. Okay, so the monthly cost for a VA on Facebook Marketplace. So that depends on who you're hiring and where you're hiring them from. So generally, I hire people from the Philippines and pay them, if I'm paying them hourly, I pay them about $4 an hour. Otherwise, what I like to do lately is hire them on a monthly basis. So they're salaried for a month. And I generally pay about $400 a month for that. Okay. All right. So if that works out, how would that work out to hourly? Let's see. Follow calculator. So 400. There's generally about 4.3 weeks in a month. Divided by 40 hours. That works out to about $2.32 an hour. But generally the VAs don't work 40 hours a week. So it could usually work out to be a lot more than that. That's a good place to start. Suzanne says, for filing sales tax, I know eBay collects and remits for us. So on the form, do I put in the amount eBay collected? So if you're registered to collect sales tax, if you're registered in certain states with a sales tax permit, then you need to file a sales tax return in those states, even if eBay collects and remits the sales tax for you, which is the case in a lot of states. So you only need to file a sales tax return for any state that you're registered with. So if I'm registered in, let's say, Pennsylvania, and eBay is collecting sales tax for me in Pennsylvania, then I still need to file in Pennsylvania. But if I'm not registered in, let's say, North Carolina, but eBay is collecting for me for North Carolina, so I don't need to file in North Carolina because I don't have a registration with North Carolina, but I still have to do it in Pennsylvania in this example. So for Pennsylvania, what I would do is file what's called the $0 return, where I say, well, let me back up. Every state's different. So some states just want you to file a return that says, hey, I didn't collect any money, I have no money to report. Other states want you to say, hey, eBay collected for me, and this is how much they collected, but I don't have to send it because eBay's doing it for me. So you gotta look, it's a state-by-state basis, unfortunately, but those are the two things you're gonna look for. $0 return, or a return that's just, hey, they did it for me. Doing good, Mark. Thanks for asking. Sorry, I haven't eaten all day, so it's like my breakfast, lunch, and dinner right now. All right. Why don't listings appear in the first 24 hours? So I'm not sure which marketplace you're talking about, but this is common across pretty much every marketplace. That happens sometimes. So it sometimes happens if, one, you're a new seller, where they won't show your listings at first until it goes through a review process. It's, even if you're an established seller, they do that sometimes. Like on Facebook Marketplace, all listings go through some sort of review process. But I wouldn't be surprised if for new sellers that review process took longer. So that could be why. Other times it's just like a glitch in their system and it just takes longer. Yeah, all the marketplaces can have that glitch where it just takes longer for the items to list. All right, how do you get the shipping option? So the shipping option is for Facebook Marketplace. And basically what it is when you list items up for sale, traditionally on Facebook Marketplace, any item you listed up, it would only be seen by customers who live geographically close to where you live. Because if anyone purchased it from you, they would have to meet up with you locally to get the item. Well, that's no longer the case. Now, when we list items up, we can ship it to customers all across the country. And that's because Facebook gave us last year the shipping option. So now when we list items, we can give customers the option to buy it and have it shipped to them. So now when that item gets listed, if we choose that shipping option, customers all over the United States can see it. If they buy it, the money goes into our Facebook account, and then we ship the item. We get their address and we ship the item directly to them. Now, not every account on Facebook, not every seller on Facebook has the shipping option available. First thing, you can't have a new account. So if you start a new account, you're not going to have the shipping option right away. You need an older, more established account. And the other reason you wouldn't have it is if you have violated some sort of rules about Facebook, some of their community guidelines. And basically that only happens if you've run Facebook ads in the past and you've had your account banned, your ads account banned. If that's ever happened to you, then you won't have the shipping option available. But all you have to do is appeal that, get your ads account back, and then you should have the shipping option available again. Thank you, Norman. Same to you. Hope everyone out there is healthy and doing well. Hey, Johnny, thanks for being here. Kevin in Florida. How's it going right now? Yeah, so that's eBay. That happens to a lot of people on eBay. Yep, we are live. Okay. The question is, how come an item sells every day, like 50 sales, and in one day everything drops to 0? How come some items get views right away and some items stop at 1? So there's a few reasons that could happen. With an item that's gotten a bunch of sales and all of a sudden stops getting sales. And one reason could be that it's a seasonal item that's no longer popular. So think like Christmas trees. In the month leading up to Christmas, you're going to sell those 50 times a day. But after Christmas, or even like a few days, or a week before Christmas, 0. You're not going to make any sales after that. That's a very common reason. Another common reason could be because someone copied your listing and undercut you and made everything exactly the same. So that's always a possibility on something like eBay. And the second part of your question is, So to kind of combat that, you just got to continually be adding and listing and adding new products, okay? Doing more research. That's how you always stay ahead of trends, how you stay ahead of seasonality, how you stay ahead of competitors who are copying you. Just constantly be doing research and adding new products. Now, the second part of your question is, how come some items get views right away and some items stop at one view? So that is a lot of times your title, your category, your main image, and also sometimes just quite frankly the time and day that you list it. People say that doesn't matter. You know, when I say people, I say like eBay and Facebook and Amazon say that doesn't matter. I think it does. I think it depends, especially on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. I think it really depends when you list items. There are better times, I think, and better days to list it than others, or really more times. And if you list it those bad times, you're not going to get any views, and then you don't gain that momentum. And then if you don't have momentum, there's nowhere to go from there. Hey, what's up? Let's Get Social. Thanks for the $2 super chat. I guess you're paying for my smoothie, so appreciate that. Is there a way to hire a VA for Facebook? Yeah, so there is. I mean, the trouble with virtual assistants, if you don't know what they are, mentioned them a little bit before, but these are remote workers who we hire from other countries like the Philippines, where the cost of living is much lower. So we can hire like one for just a few dollars an hour, which is a good deal for them. Sorry, it's a good deal for us, and it's a good wage for them as well. So we like to hire them because everything's remote anyway, right? eBay stores online, Facebook stores online, Amazon stores online anyway. So the trouble with them is that you now have to give this person you don't know and you've never met in person access to like your eBay account or your Facebook account. So as much as possible when you first start doing this, I always advise you not to give access to anything if you can, or to very little. So with something like eBay dropshipping, this is easy because they can do product research. You don't need to give them access to anything except maybe your Zeek Analytics account, and there's really no harm in you giving them access to your Zeek account. And then you can give them VA access to your AutoDS account, so they can add the products into AutoDS. If you want, you can check them over first. Otherwise, the item gets listed. You know, there's no real damage they can do with that. The trouble gets when you start to think about giving them full access to your eBay account or full access to your Facebook Marketplace account. Because with Facebook Marketplace, that software doesn't really exist. So we can't have them add items in AutoDS because the items don't automatically get added to Facebook Marketplace. So that's where the tricky part comes in with Facebook Marketplace. So the best thing you can hire a VA to do for your Facebook Marketplace account for a first task is to give them the task of doing product research. Because what they're going to do is find the products and they can make a spreadsheet. You know, here's one item, here's a link to it, here's a second item, here's a link to it. And for each of them, they also make a title that is 100 characters. They create the title, they put that in the next column. So then all you have to do is then click that link, open it up on the Supplier's website, and use my Chrome extension, which will automatically list the item, and use copy and paste the title. So that will save you a ton of time. Better yet, have them add the item to AutoDS. Now, like I said, AutoDS, once they add the product there, they can change the title to make it a fully optimized title, but they will not be able to list the item because they don't have the login information for your Facebook account, so they won't be able to list the item. But now your item is in AutoDS. All you have to do now is go into AutoDS, click one button with my Chrome extension, and it lists that item with the right title. And you just have to click two buttons, and now it's in your Facebook account. You do that, they list into AutoDS, let's say 5 items. You do that for 5 items, that's going to take you 2 minutes instead of 2 hours that it took them to find and do the title building for all those products. So for the first task for Facebook Marketplace, that is what I recommend that you do. All right. All right. Quick question. Do we need to do anything for the marketplace group that is moving? Okay, so that's a really good question, Johnny. So let me explain. A lot of you might not know what Johnny's talking about. So anyone who joins any of my courses, and I currently have three courses: an eBay dropshipping course, Amazon dropshipping course, and a Facebook marketplace dropshipping course. Anyone who joins any of those courses, they also get access to a free Facebook group. That's what we used to do. But now we are moving to this. This is the Titans Tribe community. It's a private website where you guys can, it takes the place of a Facebook group. So if you have questions about Facebook marketplace dropshipping and you're a member of the Facebook group, you can come in, you're a member of the Facebook course, you can come in here, ask questions however you want. There's different subcategories here, like a general discussion, question about tracking numbers, question about shipping option, question about suppliers or product research. And we have the same thing for the retail group and the Amazon group as well. Or for the eBay group and the Amazon group. And we even have a section here for wholesale if you're interested in that for eBay. So if you're a member of one of my courses, you're going to get access to the right group. Remember, all of them, it's all going to be in one place, so much more organized. Now, right now, as of the making of this video, which is Tuesday, March 30th at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, only the students in my Facebook Marketplace Dropshipping course have access to this community. But this week, we are going to move all of our students into this community. So all the eBay dropshipping discussions will be moved into here. All the Amazon ones will be moved into here. So it'll all be really nice into one place. And there'll be like a 2-week transition period or something like that, or a week or so. So I'm going to send out a ton of notices about this. But I do kind of want to show you guys a sneak peek what this will look like. I kind of use the Facebook Marketplace Titans course and those students as a beta for this, and it's been working really well. It's a really cool, clean design, all in one place. Much easier to use the search function here at the top. Much better than Facebook, more organized. So I like this a lot better than Facebook. The feedback I'm getting is that this is much nicer as well. And you guys you're paying for my course. I really want to make this a premium experience for you. I'm giving this to anyone who joins one of my courses for free to the right the right portion of the community. And I want to make sure it's like professional. It's not just a Facebook group. This is a place where you can come and learn, right? Facebook has a ton of distractions, and I don't want you to be bombarded with those distractions. So here in the Titans Tribe, the community, there's no distraction. This is a place you can come to learn, and that's it. Not get the gossip, not get distracted by ads. This is just a place for you to get help and to give help and to get inspiration and give inspiration. So Johnny, if you're since you are in the Facebook Marketplace Titans course, then any questions about Facebook Marketplace Titans for now are in here. And for the other 2 courses, you still have to go to the Facebook groups until we start that transition later this week. Don't worry, we'll send out emails about that and posts about that so you don't miss anything. All right. Golden says, "Hey Paul, I want to ask, what happens when someone buys an item from us on Facebook Marketplace, and how does the money get into our account?" So, if you have the shipping option available, then once someone purchases it from you on Facebook, it's going to go into your Facebook account. Facebook holds it until the item has until you upload a tracking number, and then a few days later they'll release it to you, assuming the item was actually delivered. So in the meantime, it's in that Facebook account, and then once it's released, it's sent right to your bank account. So you do have to connect a bank account, but assuming you do that, it will be transferred right to your bank account with no issues there. But that's generally it. So in the meantime, you can use a credit card to fulfill your order. The best credit cards are any with cash back. My favorite one is this one. I'll try not to show you. It's the Capital One Spark business card. It's this green one, because it gives me a flat 2% back on all my purchases. So that's a good general use card. But the Amazon Prime Rewards card gives you 5% back on all your Amazon purchases. The Walmart card gives you 5% back on all your Walmart purchases. So those are good ones to have if you're shopping from those websites. Then once Facebook releases the money to you, you can then use that money to pay off those credit cards. Because you should never carry credit or debt, because that's how you get the interest racking up. What's the best software for listing and fulfill orders automatically, non-API? A combination. So if you're listing items, I really recommend that you get AutoDS, because there is a non-API function for AutoDS. And for fulfilling orders, I recommend that you use Spot and Base. That's a Chrome extension that I really love for fulfilling orders. You can use it to fulfill orders for eBay dropshipping, Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, Amazon, Walmart, Etsy. So it's really, really powerful little Chrome extension. Both those are non-API. Well, AutoDS has a non-API version, which is what I recommend that you use. Okay. Oh, Lisa says there's buffering issues. Tiffany says she can't see anything either, but everything to other people looks good. Let's see if anyone else is having issues. Tiffany can't see or hear anything. I think the rest of you can, though. I think it's not an issue for most people. All right. Paige says, I've been selling on eBay for a long time, but do not have a store. Do I need a store to dropship? So, technically, no. But let me show you that there are some benefits to it. Let me see if I can quickly find this. eBay store subscriptions. Now, the weird thing is that eBay calls these, I just hate when like these companies try to like create these jargons to like make it like brand themselves, and it just ends up being more confusing. So like eBay has these things called subscriptions. They call them stores, store subscriptions. Like they should just call it subscriptions, or I don't know, pick one. It's just confusing. But basically what it is when you start selling, you're in a free account, okay? And you can sell on their platform. There's when you sell an item, then they take a percentage of the sale price. But there are some subscriptions that you can sign up for that come with some benefits. So there's a starter store, there's a basic store, there's a premium store, there's an anchor store, and there's an enterprise store. Each of them costs a different amount per month, from $5 a month up to $3,000 a month. Now, with each of them, you get benefits. So with the starter store, your final value fee in most categories is 10%, and they give you 250 free listings a month, which quite frankly is a lot. And after that, each listing costs you 30 cents. So in other words, you can list up for sale 250 items completely for free. After that, every item you list will cost you an additional 30 cents. And then once you sell the item, they'll take 10% of the sale price on average. So that's a lot right there. I forget what it is for a non-store. So my opinion used to be that everyone should have a basic store, because with the basic store, the final value fee drops to 9.15%. See that? And you get more free listings. In this case, 350. But recently, eBay made a change. Let me see if I can find it. eBay fees, non-store. So I can show you what I mean. Where is it? All right, here we go. So with the latest change, now you get 200 free listings a month on the free plan, and every listing after that costs just 35 cents. Now, 200 is a lot, so you probably won't get through that. So you're listing up 200 items completely for free, and you no longer have to worry so much about insertion fees. Your final value fee after that is 10%. So I used to tell everyone to get a basic plan because the final value fee dropped to 9.15%, but now you get so many insertion fees so many free insertions on a free plan that you can do the math yourself depending on the price of the items that you're selling. But for a lot of people, they're going to be fine selling on a free plan for a while before they have to jump up. And when you do jump up, I would still recommend you jump up to the basic plan because it does drop it down to 9.15%. Now there are some other benefits to having those stores. You can look at them here, but really what it comes down to is price. And yeah, they've made it better actually to sell on a free plan, and you can save money by not signing up for a store subscription. But you really got to do the math yourself based on the price of the items and how many items you're going to be listing. But again, as long as you're under 200 items, you don't have to worry about the insertion fee. Really depends on the final value fee, the difference of 9.15% and 10% in most categories. So this is a really good point. Hardly anyone buys or sells with Bitcoin. Right now, people treat Bitcoin like a stock, hold and sell later. Yeah, really good point, Ryan. Thanks for bringing that up. This is always the issue I've had with Bitcoin, is that it's so volatile that you can't, in my opinion, reasonably use it as a currency. Because I might buy something with Bitcoin, or sorry, let's say I sell something with Bitcoin. Let's say it costs me, the customer owes me $100. So they pay me $100 worth of Bitcoin. And now, in a few hours from now, Bitcoin drops a lot. Now I've only made, let's say like $90 or $80, right? That's all the Bitcoin's worth. So now I've lost money because maybe my product is cost me $80 to make. So now I haven't even made any money. If it drops even lower, I've lost money, right? Or if I'm buying something, well, yeah, I'm going to buy something. I pay $100 worth of Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin goes up. Well, now that item actually cost me $120, right? If you think about it like that. So it's just like, I can't see a lot of people right now using Bitcoin to buy and sell stuff. It really has to kind of calm down and level off before it does. I know there are some cryptocurrencies that are more stable. I think it's called stablecoin or something like that, for that purpose. But then no one talks about that. It's not exciting because it's stable, right? It's not going to change in price. It's not going to go up from $6,000 one year to over $50,000 just a little over a year later. So yeah, I think that's the big problem with cryptocurrencies. And I know that you can get paid in cryptocurrency and immediately have it change over to cash, but yeah, it's just kind of one of the issues that you'll see. Yeah. If that was the case, if I could get paid in Bitcoin, I think it's, I've had some people pay me for my courses through cryptocurrency, and then I've just like left it. But it wasn't very much because I don't really publicly advertise that a lot. But it was cool because I got a little bit of cryptocurrency that way, and then those have definitely gone up. What do I think of CJ Dropshipping? I think it's good. I've experimented with it, had good experience, but if you don't know what CJ Dropshipping is, that's a website where you can dropship products from China to customers like here in the United States and stuff. Generally, I'm not the biggest fan of dropshipping from China just because of the long shipping times. With that said, I know plenty of people who do it and make really good money with it, but it's never really been my style. I like dropshipping from suppliers here in the United States for the most part. All right. Do you get paid immediately after a buyer orders an item on eBay? So the customer pays right away, but you don't get the money right away. There's a few reasons for that. If you're a new seller, eBay will hold your money to make sure you actually are going to fulfill the order. And even if you're not a new seller, there's time for the money to process, so it does take time. So Warren wants to know, how do we keep people from Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and Alaska from buying on eBay since our supplier won't ship there? Yeah, Warren, so there actually are settings on eBay in the preferences, sorry, in the business policies to say you don't ship to those locations, and just do that. I'm not sure what you've asked this question a few times. I don't know what you mean by do I believe in a certain ROI. If you want a certain ROI, set that ROI, and it depends on the platform that you're drop shipping on. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Grimm says, do you have a one-item store or a niche store? So, I don't talk about Shopify dropshipping on this channel. That's not what I do. I dropship on the marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace. So, you don't use niche stores or one-item stores on eBay, Amazon, or Facebook Marketplace. That's for Shopify, which I don't talk about because I don't do it. When should we hire a VA? So when you're ready for it, okay? So when you really feel like the momentum's picking up and you feel like you could use some extra help, remember, you can always hire one on a part-time basis just to help you out. One thing I will say is that you might want to think about hiring one a little bit before you think you need one. Because by the time you need one, you might be so busy you don't have time to train one. And you don't want to get to that point. So I would say slightly before you need one, slightly before you really feel like things, or right when you feel like things are starting to pick up, hire one on a part-time basis just to get them start to train them, and they're going to appreciate when you give them more work. So that's not going to be an issue because then they get paid more. But yeah, that's what I would say. There's really no dollar amount for that. It's really based on your time and how much money you want to put into the business or put back into the business and how much time you want to spend on the business. I've known people that have hired a virtual assistant right away because they're busy, they run other businesses, and they really see this as more of an investment, and they hire the VA to kind of run things for them. But they spend more money on a more qualified VA to do that. Can't find the uploader on AutoDS. On the old AutoDS, it's called the uploader. On the new one, it's just called add products on the top left. Let's see. Does a small eBay store count or qualify as a small business that can receive a business grant the government is giving out? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. You gotta speak to like a CPA about that or something. Sorry. Okay. Brooke says, I paid for a guy on Fiverr to find me a product for $25 a couple days ago. I'm most curious about it and don't expect to be pleased. Thoughts, please. I would not hold your breath. So I have a YouTube video from a few months ago where I hired a few different people on Fiverr, spent a few $100s doing that to have them do product research for me to find products to dropship onto eBay. And the results were not that exciting. The products they found were kind of not that great. You know, they weren't ones that were particularly spectacular or doing that well. And to really see, I really wanted to test this. So I bought from the same guy on 2 different accounts, and he sent both of the accounts the exact same list of products. So don't be surprised if whatever he gives you, he's giving it to other people as well, or whoever the seller is. Yeah, so that experiment kind of taught me I would not hire from Fiverr. I'd rather, for that, I would rather hire someone who, like through online jobs, where they work with me directly, and I know I'm the only person they're doing research for. Hey Paul, this is John. John wants to know if you apply for an LLC for an online store, does it include all your accounts, like your eBay, your Amazon, your Facebook Marketplace, or do I have to get each one of my accounts a different LLC, I think you mean. So an LLC is called a limited liability company. It's a legal entity. It's a business that you're starting. It's like starting a corporation, but the formalities for starting an LLC are usually much easier than starting a corporation. So that's why a lot of people start LLCs. LLCs really popular with small businesses for that reason. Cheaper to start as well in most cases. Now I say most cases because LLCs are determined by the states. Forming businesses, how they're formed is determined by each state. So forming a corporation in New York or an LLC in New York will be much harder than another state, like let's say Oklahoma. I'm not positive about that, but I'm pretty sure it's easier in Oklahoma than it is in New York to start like a corporation or an LLC. So every state's different. Now, what's generally the same for most states, again, generally I haven't looked at every state, so I don't know if this is 100% true, but as far as I've seen, when you start an LLC, they're going to ask you, for what purpose are you starting this business? What is the business going to be doing? What is their operations? So you have to give them an answer. But what I was allowed to put in New York is that this business exists for all legal purposes, which means that I can do anything I want with that business. I can run any business under the umbrella of my LLC as long as it's a legal business, right? I can't run like a drug smuggling business under that. But I can run it, I can run my eBay store, my Amazon store, for instance, under that same LLC for that reason. As long as there's more that has to go into it, because you have to make sure that you run your LLC correctly. You have to make sure that everything stays separate, your personal assets separate from your LLC assets. That way the LLC actually really exists. If you start an LLC and then you're depositing money, business money, into your personal bank account and then just spending that money without running the business correctly, like the correct way to separate it, then it's basically you, and you are the business, and there's no point of even having an LLC. So that's why it's really important to talk to a lawyer about forming a business, get it set up correctly and running correctly so that it actually works the way it's supposed to. Okay. Why is Lowe's and Walmart canceling orders right away? Sometimes just minutes after I order, I get an email canceling it. So any website will cancel orders for a number of reasons. If you're using a VPN, if you're outside the United States, sometimes they can detect that. They see that as high fraud, and they might cancel those orders. So you got to use something like a fresh, dedicated VPN, not one of these commercial ones. That could be it. Not necessarily, but that could be it. Another reason could be if you're ordering some certain items, like major electronics, are high fraud. So with Walmart, we found that even though most of our orders go through, there are certain products like televisions that if we order them, we might get one order to go through, and then if we keep ordering it, Walmart will cancel all those subsequent orders because they see that as a high risk item or a potential for high fraud with that item. And when I mean fraud, they mean like they're afraid someone's stolen my credit card and is using it to purchase the item. Something about that item that's happened a lot to them, and they've gotten too many chargebacks, so they want to avoid that from happening. So those are the main reasons that would happen. So you just want to avoid those products. Don't sell those products. Okay. Hey, I'm looking for a mentor. A good thing to do is look around my YouTube videos. I have a whole bunch of YouTube videos talking about drop shipping. Not sure what exactly you're interested in, but check them out. See if it's a good fit for you. I have courses how to do all the drop shipping that I've ever done. So all that will be linked up in the description of this video. You can join the eBay course, the Amazon course, get on the wait list for the Facebook course, if that's what you want to do. And then otherwise, you can join one of the free Facebook groups and ask people if they want to mentor you. But that's what I would try if you want something more like that. All right. Miguel says, if you use LastPass, can your virtual assistant see the password? So we were talking before about how hiring a virtual assistant can be tricky because you don't want to give them access to like your Facebook account, right? Or your eBay account. So one thing that people have done is they've used this Chrome extension called LastPass. And what LastPass is it's a password management software. So you only need to remember one password. Once you log in with that password into LastPass, LastPass has all your other passwords for all your other websites, so that you only have to remember the one password. Now, one of the other things you can do with LastPass is you can share a password. So I could share my password with a virtual assistant, like my eBay password. Then they log into their LastPass, and then the Chrome extension will, when they try to log into eBay, will automatically fill in the email and the password that from my account, and then they'll be able to log in. Now, during that process, they will not be able to see the password, but there is a way for them to see it. So it's not foolproof. I think the way it happens is like, you know how Google will also save passwords? Like when you enter a password on a website, Google will say, Chrome will ask, hey, do you want to save this password? So when the VA uses LastPass to fill in your name and password, and they click enter, Google Chrome will then ask, hey, do you want to save this password? If you click yes, Google Chrome will be able to see that password, and they'll actually be able to save it, and then the VA can look at it. So it's not foolproof. That's why I never recommend or talk about that. If you're going to give them the password, give them the password, I guess. Yeah. All right. Someone says I skipped question. I don't see your question. I don't see your question here. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. But I ask it again. Maybe it got cut off for some reason. Look at this dude's background. Does it look like dropshipping is working for him? So, I live in I travel full time in a camper van. So right now I'm in my camper van. We are outside of San Francisco. Last week we were in San Diego. We got to go surfing, hanging around there. I love to travel. So when I used to live in New York City, in Brooklyn, we travel as much as we could, but having a job and having a place, you were limited in how often you could travel. So once you realize, hey, we're location independent, we're making full-time income online, why are we in one place? So we sold everything, bought a camper van, and now we're traveling around exploring the entire country because that's what we love to do. I don't live in a van because I have to. I live in a van because I love to travel, and that's what I love to do. So, I live in a van, and I think that's awesome, personally. Okay, answer this. Don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, there is. Yeah, so I do a lot of wholesale as well. So with retail, I like to introduce people to dropshipping with retail because it's the simplest way to start. But wholesale is definitely like the next level. It's where you want to end up. So with wholesale, you are getting items directly from wholesale suppliers and distributors, where you're going to get higher margins because you're cutting out the middleman. So normally the item gets produced and then it goes to a supplier who then sends it off to the retailers, and then you buy it from the retailers, and then you send it to the person you drop shipped it to. So this time we're cutting out some middlemen and we're going directly to the supplier, and that means the cost for the product is going to be lower for us. When are the updates coming for the Facebook Marketplace course? So I was working on them today, like scripting them out. So I'll be working on those in April, and then I'll be opening the course back up for enrollment. So if you're interested in the course, Facebook Marketplace Dropshipping course, It's not open all the time, so you got to get on the wait list. I'll have that linked up in the description to get on that wait list. All right, I'm not afraid of these comments. This is not an old RV. This is a brand new 2021. I don't know why I have to answer that. All right. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to find one last good comment before we end this. All right. All right. I'm not really seeing any good questions. I know someone's probably asking a question here, but I'm not seeing it. Here's a good one. Do you think wholesale dropshipping is more of a long-term business? Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's more, that's the way, like, it's more like, I wouldn't say established. It's more like, I don't even want to use the word legitimate, but like, I don't even know what the word I'm fishing for is, but yeah, I mean, when you start it up, it does feel like more of a substantial, legitimate business, right? If you get those relationships with the suppliers, that is worth a lot, okay? And it's hard for that to be taken away. So I think there's a lot of power in doing wholesale drop shipping. So if you can get to that point, I think it's a really, really good point to be at. And it adds diversification, right? You can do the retail, you can do the wholesale, you can sell in different marketplaces. That's really, really important to do, diversifying your income in multiple different ways. But yeah, that's a really, really good question. And if you join my eBay course, I do have, you will get access to both the retail eBay dropshipping and the wholesale, so you can do either one. All right, guys, so that's it for this week's live stream. Appreciate everyone who's here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next live stream. We do them every Tuesday afternoon/night, depending where in the world you are and where in the world I am. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.